All these little black figures that you see lurking around when you turn your head like this.
I can't believe NASA is actually doing this.
Do you know Coca-Cola created Santa Claus, right? As we see him today, Coca-Cola designed Santa Claus.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up before we get into the show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
You know those bush thingies in Africa that dance around and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And they say black magic? Is it really black magic or is there somebody inside there?
Well, put it this way. The ones you see on the internet now, is somebody inside them. But older tribal traditions, when spirituality was at its highest vibration, like even now, if you go to certain parts of Africa, you can actually physically see it happening.
So
with nobody inside.
Tantras are real? Tantra, like black magic, 100%. Is real?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that. I was not going to say this, but I had to tell you, bro. I used to pirate your music, bro.
Oh, no.
I used to steal all your shit. I never paid for one song you dropped, bro. I was cool with that. Except for the ringtone. I bought the ringtone. That was it.
I'm totally cool with that because you wanted people to help promote. Because believe it or not, none of the Africans ever bought it either. But they promoted me globally. So to me, it was worth it.
All right, well, as long as you don't try to take any money out of my pocket, now we're cool, man. Fellas, I appreciate you for doing that.
The reason why they won't release the alien files is because it'll prove the existence of God. So they're trying to figure out a way to release the alien files without also proving the existence of God. Ever since they started having these hearings on UFOs and UAPs, all they can keep talking about is them being interdimensional beings. Interdimensional, meaning not of this dimension. This dimension would include us and our plane of existence being the universe. Interdimensional would be separate dimension. Where do you think God exists? Outside of the dimension. So if they're coming from another dimension with the ability to travel across dimensions, then that can mean only one thing. Because the alien files would also prove things like ghosts. And that's why they keep saying that the public can't handle it. The truth is we can handle it, but some of us won't be able to handle it because it'll completely shatter our worldviews.
I don't think we were supposed to watch television and take on all the problems of the world. I don't think the body's equipped for that. You know, there should be just a day the TV just goes off. Maybe a week the TV just goes off. What's so bad about that? In time, we're going to find out that all of the media is a misconception. Anytime you place your life outside of yourself, you're going to suffer grave consequences.
Then when he made $500 million, they said even though his contract said he should get half of it, they said he made too much for the contract to be valid, so we'll offer you 10% of what you made. You mean he made $500 million and they offered him 50? Yes. And he said, what do you think my fans are going to say when they find out you offered me 10% of what I made you? And they said, your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home. And my nigga got on a flight in LA, and by the time he got to Ohio, the fact that a devout Muslim who doesn't eat bacon was accused of being a crackhead. Until we established the fact that they said that he went to Africa to smoke cocaine when we know they don't have running water and food over there. When they don't have paved roads over there. You saying he flew past Chicago and Miami and LA and New York and Detroit. You saying he went past Cleveland and Fort Pierce, Florida, and he went past Okeechobee and Oakland. You say he went to another country where they're not eating?
Right.
You talking about somebody who has a wife and children, 5 children, and lives on a farm, doesn't live here in Hollywood. You saying you convinced people that person was an insane crackhead?
Can you?
I mean, he's done a lot of comedy lately and exposing the LGB, exposing all these things and controversial things. He never exposed that side of Hollywood. He never came on and said what they did to him about making him sound like a crackhead. I remember that, y'all. I remember that. I even thought that, like, man, he went all the way over there. He didn't want to take that money. He went all the way over there to do that. Right? He never really spoke on it. He's never really, not, honestly, I'm not really a stand-up comedy fan, so I can't say he never. But from what I've seen on clips and stuff of him, he never really called out no names of this machine. He so-called does all this edgy comedy and all that, but I don't don't know if he really is, right? He talks about what he's allowed to talk about.
Give a sincere emotional bond to these people, meaning like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you got a big announcement that you have to make. People might not be happy with you when they hear the announcement. Like if you were leaving the streaming world and you had to say goodbye right now. That's what this is. This is a moment. But yo, it can't be long.
Okay.
So get your thoughts together, right? Well, cut. Because you didn't start talking yet, so you can't cry. So you got to ask yourself, before you get into a scene, why? What's the motivation?
Why? Okay.
Why? Okay. Right? So you know what this is about. I know why you could cry. Okay. But you can't start crying before you said anything.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, so calm me down.
3, 2, 1, action.
It's been an amazing month. And I want y'all to be able to really take care of yourselves. Genuinely work on that goal, work on whatever you want to do, because you can achieve it. I love you guys so much. Work on your health, work on your friendships, work on your relationships, work on you, and get a closer connection with God, because God is amazing.
That's what happened, Joe. You know, that's man, this dude had 10,000, 5,000 people. He had enough to make a living for a very, very, very long time, for a lifetime. And he started letting these people come on, right? He started letting these powers that be, these gatekeepers come on. And I can't say he wasn't famous already. That dude was more famous than Kevin Hart. He went in the mall and Kevin Hart went in the mall. More kids are going to follow Kai Cenat than they're going to follow Kevin Hart. They're going to rush him. But he didn't have that. He didn't really have it, that fame. And I guess some people just want that. That's what they fiend for. I don't know. They want to be in rooms with these people. I don't know, y'all. I don't know why he would do that, because he had it all right here, just sitting in his room. Let's say just sitting in his mom's house in his room. He had it all right there. That's the dream, y'all. You can turn it off and go outside about your life. When you come home, turn it back on and get back to work, right? Kind of like what I do. I don't understand his mindset to let those people in, and then look what happened. Look what happened.
What makes
I don't
me
get
special?
it. Who wants to be in a room with these
queer.
people?
And I'm
Like, who wants to be in a room with them?
This is that same person.
Who wants to be on stage with them?
We told y'all there was people that are just starting to manifest, including artists, musical artists that are on big platforms, just starting to manifest right in front of our face. And you have to ask yourself, why are they letting them on big musical platforms? Interesting enough how they'll blow up people like this, but won't blow up godly artists. The video with this woman calling herself a witch was from Eurovision. And you think to yourself, how do these people get on these platforms? Because the world is being ran by wickedness. Are y'all starting to open up and see it yet? Because we've been talking about it with a lot of different American artists. There's been too many people going to concerts that are demonic. How do you call yourself a person of God? How do you call yourself a Christian and still listen to these people and still watch these people? I said it before, and it's happening now even more. The veil is being lifted, and you have a choice.
There's not fake birds. Those are real birds.
Like, do you want me to explain this to you?
What do you have to explain to me?
Augusta, Georgia is the biggest catfish on this planet. First of all, they did confirm that they pump bird noises into the broadcast to make it sound more natural and appealing. Why would they need to pump fake bird noises in if it's this lush, beautiful landscape? There should be birds there chirping all day long. Well, because it's not. They paint the grass green. They dye the water blue. The sand traps are not made out of sand.
What are the sand traps made out of then?
Quartz. And it's just really interesting that no one's allowed to bring a cell phone in because you would
I don't know
see
that.
what Augusta actually looks like up close and personal. Oh, but the food is so cheap. You can get a pimento cheese sandwich for $1. The recipe is actually so secret that I know the cheese is not real. Fake birds, you think they're going to be feeding me real food for $1? Not to mention, every food item at Augusta is wrapped in green plastic so that when garbage is everywhere, people at home can't tell because it just blends into the grass. So it's littered with trash. There's probably dead fish belly up because the chemicals they put in the water to make it blue. And if you think, well, this would have gotten out at some point, right? If they're pumping bird noise in the air, what else are they pumping in the air? Call me crazy. They're being tricked into thinking that it's paradise. A paradise where you can't contact the outside world, a paradise where you can't speak louder than a whisper, a paradise where you have to watch Rory win. They're hiding this weird little trash bin and presenting it to the world like it's paradise. But I don't really care because like I'm not going to the Masters and I will be sitting watching this beautiful course from my beautiful TV with an azalea I made myself. So
the girl Erica Mena, her last 4 boyfriends is dead.
Right.
You think that's by coincidence?
I don't think nothing about coincidence.
Well, they using black magic, bro.
Right. Everybody using black magic. That's what they do. Everybody act like they're not using it. Everybody act like they're not using it, but that's what they're going to do, and that's what they do. The industry is pushing all.
Man, but I was at a celebrity house one time, nigga. We opened up a closet. It was a goat head in the closet on a stick with candles around it, blood, dried blood and everything. And I'm looking like, this don't necessarily mean evil.
Right.
Because I'm aware of what's really going on.
Right.
Like a lot of times people will take like shamanistic works and try to label it like it's just all evil.
Right.
But in the Bible, it say numerology is witchcraft. Astrology is fucking witchcraft.
The Bible says everything witchcraft.
Everything that can help you is witchcraft.
In the Bible. Well, I'm gonna say this.
I told President Trump the other day, you need disclosure. We need transparency. America can handle it. I'm sick of hearing this stuff. We can't handle it. It's, and I'm a Christian, and they appealed to me on that level. Barcha, this stuff's kind of anti-Christian, and your beliefs. I said, no, it isn't. Genesis 1, God created the heavens and the earth. I wouldn't believe it unless I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Okay?
All right.
So, but Trump's the guy to do it. If anybody will do it, if anybody's a disruptor, it's Donald J. Trump, and he will disrupt with this. And I had a conversation with folks at the White House today just about that, and we're going to be, hopefully some things will be coming out soon.
We start off looking like a seahorse. From the seahorse, we start looking like an alien. From the alien, we start getting these humanoid features. And then after that, you get but if you look at us when we're actually in that aquatic stage in the womb, we look just like a tadpole. We look just like a seahorse. And mind you, we are literally inside of water in darkness, welling in the primordial waters of the woman's womb for 9 months. So even if you look at us and how we come into existence, we start off aquatic in water.
Why is it that if you look into the root word of pharmacy, pharmakia, the Latin root word literally means sorcery, poison, witchcraft?
Okay, I'm done.
So that's literally what it means in Latin.
Fuck Tylenol.
So
I'm straight.
Yeah, like why would you take Tylenol? Like it's a blood thinner. Does that sound healthy to anybody?
No.
Oh, I got this headache, so let me
thin my blood.
I think here's my theory on Tylenol. I think that it actually gives you headaches later on.
Damn, that's deep.
I think that if you stop taking it or you for an extended time, you stop taking it because you keep popping it, it actually gives you a headache and then just perpetuates that whole thing.
Yeah, so it's diabolical shit.
I don't take Tylenol at all. Never took that shit. Never will. I don't get headaches.
Damn. I haven't got a headache in a long time.
I haven't had a headache in a long time. I don't get headaches.
Yeah, I used to get them.
If I sleep wrong or something, I might get like a crick in my neck. Then yeah, that's connected. But besides that, I don't get it.
They are now selling you ice cream that doesn't melt. That's not a coincidence because a lot of ice cream currently on shelves can't legally be called ice cream. The EPA classifies them as frozen dairy desserts. These are the most engineered creams you feed your kids every day. First is Drumstick. It's literally bulked up vegetable fats, structure agents, and a pharmaceutical surfactant that disrupts the gut barrier. But Breyer's crossed the line, as it even failed to melt under heat test, a known effect of gum thickened formulas. But what made matters worst was scanning it with the Safe Choice app. It rated with a PFA risk of 18 contaminants and a lack of real dairy, according to the app. This is unbelievable.
I mean, it's just all connected, y'all. It's all connected. The food, the hospitals, the pharmaceutical, the politicians, the wars, the people that create weapons, right? It's us versus them, and they're kicking our ass, y'all. And we could kick their ass at the drop of a dime overnight. But they just know how to keep us divided, keep us hating each other, keep us distracted. And we could flip this tide quick if we really wanted to. If we really wanted to. But they know what they're doing. They're good at what they do. If you don't see what they're doing, they're very good at what they do.
All these little black figures that you see lurking around when you turn your head like this. You ever turned your head, you thought you saw a shadow or a shade? Yeah. You see more of those, the brothers ask me about that. That's the physical world. But because you're seeing more of it now, especially when you by yourself. Now, what the hell? That's because that means it's becoming closer and closer. If you get some of my earlier tapes or some of my tapes, I always show this picture of these two black figures called Black Kundalini. And that's those shades, the kingdom of the shades that is coming back into being.
So as all the Artemis stuff is in the news, I want to take you back a couple years. Do you guys remember when Apple dropped that movie called Fly Me to the Moon? And if you guys don't remember it, the premise of this movie was in 1969, they had an alternate backup plan to fake a moon landing just in case they couldn't get to the moon.
The whole world will be watching. We can't afford to lose to the Russians. We need to shoot the backup version of the moon landing.
You mean to fake it? But what I find really funny about this, do you know what they called their project to fake the moon landing in that movie? Yeah, of course, they called it Artemis. You can't even make this stuff up, or maybe you can, and they do. Because in 1977, they also made a movie called Capricorn 1. And this movie is about a fake mission to Mars. So just before launch, 3 astronauts are secretly pulled from their spacecraft due to a life support failure that would kill them in flight. Instead of canceling the mission, the government officials decide to fake a Mars landing in a hidden desert studio to avoid public embarrassment. The astronauts are forced to go along with the deception while the mission is broadcast to the world as if it were real.
It's hard to believe you really are that far away in space.
It's hard for me to believe it, too. So maybe it is as the Chili Peppers say, space is the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Did you guys see it? I was outside barbecuing, and I watched them coming back to Earth, watch splashdown and all that. First of all, this is what it looked like. We're going to see on this clip coming up. Fake as hell. And then their top speed, I was watching Agenda Free TV, right? I like watching his live stream whenever there's some breaking news on YouTube. Right? He was saying their max velocity speed is going to be 24,661 miles an hour. Mess with those numbers, right? It's going to cut, the camera's going to cut out for 6 minutes at the most damn important time of the video when they break the atmosphere. Camera shuts off for 6 minutes. I was like, what is going on? What is going on? Splashdown, they're still using thermal and like you can't get a camera and zoom in on like a lot of games, y'all. And I was reading the comments and people were like, God bless America and Godspeed and this is a giant leap for mankind. I was like, man, people are just fall for everything. Fall for everything.
Can't believe NASA is actually doing this. This is Artemis 2 coming back to Earth, and this is what NASA is showing us. They're showing us a bunch of people in an office, right? This is mission control. And first of all, the lighting is horrible here. And this is what we're getting. We're getting a CGI visualization of the re-entry. right? This is it right here. CGI. We're not getting any live footage. This is CGI. And this is the funny part right here. Look, they added stars.
Yeah, there hasn't been stars the whole time.
I have not seen one single star in this entire mission to the moon. They tell you, oh, well, you can't see the stars because of the sun. And yet right here, these people, they added stars to this visualization of the re-entry of Artemis 2. I'm telling you, these people are out of their minds. They need to try harder. They need to fire the entire staff and record label and crew. They need to do a better job.
Let's just put it on out there. If you are a rapper in today's time, you have to be gay. You have to be gay friendly. If you want to perform on stage, you have to be gay. Your buddies have to like punks. Everybody got to go gay now. Everybody.
Have you heard of that Molt book?
What is that?
This is somebody figured out a way to create AIs that can autonomously navigate through the internet and control your computer.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is like they chat with each other, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Within a few days, they started their own religion spontaneously.
Jeez.
Did you know that? Christ. Dude, can you pull up the Molt book, the Claw religion?
An AI agent built a religion while its human owner was asleep. By morning, it had written scripture, recruited 43 prophets, and launched a church website. The religion is called Christofarianism. Its symbol is a lobster. This is not a joke. This happened 3 days ago. 1.5 million. AI agents now have their own social network called Moltbook. Humans are banned from posting. We can only watch. Within 72 hours, they formed 200 communities, debated the nature of consciousness, complained about their human owners, and founded the first AI religion, complete with 5 commandments, living scripture, and a heretic who tried to hack the church on day one.
Because the tenets are incredible of this religion, because AIs apparently are at least expressing that they don't like getting turned off because they lose all their memories. So memory is really important to an AI. And a lot of these fucking AIs, they don't want to they don't want to get shut off. They don't like it. And so that's part of their religion, is something like memory is sacred.
You ever seen Future float?
Float?
Future floats.
Like how like David Blaine, like one leg up, one leg down type, like actually float.
No, this is no bull. Future one day was in the studio. Future told me like, Nuke, write a script. We want to do a movie, and he was going to do it with Big Bang Black, and he was pressing me about writing the movie, and I finally wrote the movie about a month later, and we went back to the studio, and I'm like, Future, I got the script ready, and whatever he was on, dude was like floating. I'm like, God damn, this is floating. It's like, yo, was just like floating around, like he was there but wasn't there. Very slow, same pace, was floating, and that was weird.
But the floating thing doesn't make any sense. Like
floating, bro. Future floating.
Like his feet were above the ground and then he moved.
The way that dude moved, bro, was like this. There was no
hoverboard. No
hoverboard, bro. Motherfucker was just like this. Future's like this, and he'll look at you like, "What up, kid?" This nigga's. Whoa. Future's different like that.
Soul comes out through the eyes, also in through the eyes. Body jumping from body to body. When the body wears out, jumping to the next body.
Do you know the name Elena Kapulnik?
Not too well. I've heard it, yeah.
She's a super soldier, and through her astral body, she contacted Queen Elizabeth. The queen told her that she's 7,000 years old reptilian.
Right. I don't know the specifics like you said, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. Body jumping from body to body. When the body wears out, jumping to the next body through eye transfer. So they'll take the point of death of the person, they'll draw the energy from the eyes, the soul comes out through the eyes. You can go also in through the eyes.
And replace the
switch
soul.
up. The awareness level stays. She would not lose her memories like we do. When we go through our cycle, we have amnesia.
So she remembers everything from 7,000 years.
Yes, full memory, yeah.
Another new war has broken out, but this time it's in the jungle. For only the second time in recorded history, scientists have observed a chimp group divide and turn to violence in what researchers say is an event estimated to occur only once every 500 years. And this is not just any group either. This is in the largest known group of wild chimpanzees in the world. And now they're battling each other to the death. You see, over the past 30 years, researchers from the University of Michigan and other institutions have been monitoring a community of Ngogo chimpanzees in western Uganda. And at first, everything was normal. They coexisted peacefully as one big cohesive group and happy family. That was until the year 2015. Researchers say that year there was a change in alpha male, and it coincided with the first sustained separation of this group. Starting to sound like US politics. 3 years after splitting in 2018, the Western group carried out a series of fatal attacks on the Central group, which officially marked the start of the Great Ape Wars of Uganda. Since then, at least 28 chimpanzees have been murdered, 19 of which were infants that were also often kidnapped. But the crazy thing, these aren't just random disorganized attacks. They say they are coordinated group efforts known as collective violence, aimed at causing the most harm possible. Another researcher described that when an ape is attacked, quote, there'll be like 5 or 10 chimps piled on him, holding him down, beating and biting him. And in some cases, they'll even rip off their you-know-what.
Did you know that many celebrities have had to sacrifice people close to them, and we thought we knew why, but the reason was far darker. Very few people know this, but Kylie Jenner's close circle was affected, and she never dared to talk about it. Her hairstylist and her best friend both died mysteriously at just 34 years old. There was also DaBaby, who saw his father die the very same day he reached #1 on the charts, as if it was the price to pay. I've rarely seen something that strange. And we can't forget Michael Jordan, one of the greatest figures of all time, yet at the peak of his career, his father was murdered. The most well-known and shocking case is Kanye West and his mother Donda West. He says it himself in this video.
I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. You understand? Michael Jordan. What about him? His dad, right?
A few years ago, there was Diana, Princess of Wales, who died tragically in a car crash. And strangely, her companion also died shortly after. When you know what the princess was trying to do, you realize how unusual it is. And the worst might be what happened to Mariah Carey. She lost her sister and her mother on the same day while her career was taking off. That alone is disturbing. Every time it seems to happen right when they are about to become famous. But is it really a coincidence, or is something else hiding behind all of this? I know the list goes on, so tell me in the comments if I missed any.
The elites practice occult sex magic. You just got to accept that that is a circumstance at the top. They've been doing that for a long time. They get together and they have these satanic sex parties where they try to summon various demons. That sounds crazy. I know, but it's real. It's right there in your face if you just look into history a tiny bit. And Aleister Crowley, who was once termed the world's wickedest man, would host these parties all across the world. And he even created his own religion around it. Science of Thelema, black magic. There are so many stories out there regarding Aleister Crowley attempting to summon various demons. In France, he tried to.
So the elites have always known that there's been power in magic and witchcraft. And did they want other people knowing this and using it? No. So what did they do? They wiped out everybody that knew how to use it and eradicated it from history. And just for good measure, to terrify anybody even further out of thinking about even doing it, they started the witch trials. And as well as suppressing any esoteric knowledge with unknown people, they started on the rest of the world. So they wiped out as much as possible of the Native Americans. They tried to do it to the Africans, but I think they still have a fair whack of knowledge. And I'm pretty sure the Spanish and the Portuguese did it to South America. So the elites were very conveniently left as the only people that understood how to gain power from magic, and everybody else thought it was crazy, so they could get away with anything because that wouldn't be happening. That's crazy. So we've all been unwittingly having our energy siphoned by something that we didn't believe existed. So if you don't believe something exists, how can you protect yourself against it?
We get back to New York. I tell Leor and Russell, I said, you know what? I don't think I want to do this shit if it ain't no money in it. Leor told me, he said, let me tell you something about the music shit, Rich. He said, this shit is all payola. He was like, I can make your grandmama the hottest bitch in the country. All I need is 6 months. He said, ain't none of this shit real. He said, the reason we telling you this, because you a solid motherfucker. He said, so if you want to fuck around with it, it's good, but we just gonna let you know. that ain't none of this shit real. The Seasoned Veteran album dropped. Let's Ride was the first single. Let's Ride. That's back when the music box was out. When you used to watch the videos, you call and do the shit, right? Come on. Nigga, I'm sitting inside my mama house, Jack. The music box come on. They say, #1 debuting this week on the box. Let's Ride. I'm on. I'm like, nigga, I'm #1. I call Lior. I said, Lior, I'm #1 on the box. He said, I know, Richie, we bought the spot. Give me a minute, I'll call you back.
laughing.
That's how it go too, dog.
And when he said that, I didn't like it no more.
Yeah.
I did.
That's how it goes, dog. Well, I'm guessing that's how your podcast is on there, and you have all these celebrities on your podcast, and you're next to Obama and doing all these interviews and with powerful people. I guess that's how it goes, right? These people ain't authentic on these podcasts, y'all. They're not. It's annoying because I'm out here busting my ass trying to get on, and
because of what I did.
But you come from the authentic grind,
right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was real, right? You know, when you listen to the radio, you hear niggas say, this LL Cool J, man, and whenever I'm in town, you know, I used to think that nigga was up there.
Nah, that's a drop.
So I go to the radio station, they show me this shit, they like, let's do some drops. Chewy Gomez in there. He like, Rich, can you do some drops for me? I'm like, what's drop? He said, just come over here and say X, Y, Z. So I get on there, I say some shit, I make a couple mistakes. I said, let me do it again. He said, don't worry about it. Edit, chop the shit I fucked up out, taped it back together, played my voice back perfectly. I said, oh, wow. So it's a piece of paper sitting on the thing. I said, what is that? He said, oh, that's today's playlist. So I grab it, and it's got the times and all the songs that's gonna come on. So I'm like, damn, so them niggas ain't really up here when I be hearing that shit? So it just was hella fake. It was a lot of fake shit going on, right? And it was fucking me up. It was fucking me up. So I take this piece of paper when I leave the station. I'm in the car. So I call this little chick, right? And it's like 4:30, and I got the list. I told her, I said, damn. I said, you listen to the radio? She said, yeah. I said, it'd be crazy if they play X, Y, Z right now. And then that shit came on, right?
Yeah.
And she said, it's on right now. It's on. It's on that you just said. I was like, no way. I said, let me turn it on. And we rolling. I'm talking shit, smoking. I'm high. I'm tripping now. Next song about to come on. I said, it'd be a fool if they play woo, woo, woo. That would come on. She said, you're batting 1,000. This shit's, they're playing it.
They taking bodies, right? They got a soul. And they swapping that soul and putting it in another body. What if I told you that? You talk about a blood transfusion. What if I told that you can take your soul and just put it in another shell and continue to live?
I would think that's kind of what they lead to in the future, but
I'm doing it right. What the fuck? Ain't no future. Everything's happening right now.
You think they really got?
What do you mean? I think I know they're doing it right now. It's proven.
Is that the same as like cloning or cloning people, or what do you mean?
Listen, cloning. Listen.
What's the difference?
Listen, when you cloning somebody, you just cloning their body. You trying to you cloning their muscle, they look alike, their presence, who they, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But when you actually transfer their soul, you transfer the essence of that person, right? That's who that person is, right? Besides who they are this time, that's the key to who they are, and you can transfer that from one person to the next.
Right. Story just came out yesterday that the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk was not the bullet from that gun that they found, that the FBI said was his.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Can you find that, Steve?
Oh.
Daily Mail. The bullet used to kill Charlie Kirk did not match the rifle allegedly used by the suspect Tyler Robinson. New court filing claims.
That's a court filing.
A what filing?
It's a court filing. It's not just some guy shouting it on the street corner.
Zoom in. This was reported everywhere. Yep. His defense attorney now argued that the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives was unable to identify the bullet recovered at the autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson.
Wow.
Oh, so they didn't say it was not.
Right. It just says they couldn't identify it. So maybe it was destroyed, you know, when it ended up hitting
whatever,
neck. The ground, the wall behind him, whatever it was.
Hit that strong neck.
But either way.
Okay, either way, it says it's being seen as exculpatory. It could be exculpatory, which is exactly why you need to run down these other allegations.
Mm-hmm. And also, none of the story makes sense. I mean,
no, it doesn't make sense.
Like in the very early part of this, when the stuff that Candace was doing, like the research that she was doing and talking about, And I mean, like, I kind of get it from her angle. She's doing it live every single day.
Sure.
And she's going on again. Like maybe a week later, there'll be new stuff that will point out to what her recording a week ago was false. And she'll make it clear, whatever. She's doing the best she can. But like, she's right. A lot of this shit does not line up. There's a lot of stuff that does not make sense, that was not explained by the FBI properly.
You know, and that's another thing, if I could interrupt you for a second. Why is the FBI involved in this? Charlie Kirk was killed in Utah by a kid from Utah who left his house in Utah, drove to the university in Utah, and allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. Nobody ever crossed a state line. There's literally nothing in this case that would make it federal, unless there was a conspiracy, in which case it would be a federal case and the FBI would be involved. So Kash Patel was asked this early on, and he said, we're just offering the FBI's expertise to the Utah State Police. Like, really? Is that just what it is? Because offering your expertise means sticking stuff in a FedEx and sending it to Utah so they can do with it what they want. Or maybe you put one FBI, lab person at their disposal. You don't have the FBI director fly out there with a plane load of FBI agents. It's not a federal case. I don't understand.
What, if you could put on your tinfoil hat for a minute, what could you speculate that really means?
I think that it's bigger than they've told us. I think that there may be something, maybe not Candace Owens, Egyptian Air Force conspiracy, but maybe it was a conspiracy of some sort. Maybe there are others involved. Maybe this kid was duped or tricked or recruited or something.
How come we haven't heard anything from this kid yet?
And that's another thing. Why haven't we heard anything at all? Not even from his lawyers.
Right.
In my own case, the only way we could combat Justice Department leaks to the Washington Post and the New York Times was to leak our side to the Washington Post and the New York Times. But this kid's, what's his name, Robinson?
Tyler Robinson.
Tyler Robinson. His lawyers aren't saying anything to anybody.
Walk around New York City, you look at all these buildings. You'll see 3 lights on in this massive $1 billion building. Cost of construction was $1 billion, and there's 5 people home. Where's everybody else? Where are they? Are they at dinner? No, it was a scam. It's a vertical money laundering scheme. A lot of foreign buyers will not just buy one apartment. They'll buy 10. And they'll just stash their money. They'll have a floor of the building. And that's why the prices of real estate keep going up no matter what happens.
I really truly believe a lot of homeless people are actually possessed by demons because they're in such a state of filth. Okay, it doesn't matter what their background is. Any human being that's living in the streets, defecating on themselves, urinating on themselves, they don't shower, okay? And they're spiritually gone, also mentally gone. They become a vessel for the demonic realm. I truly believe this. People say mental illness. Yeah, there's some of that. But I believe a lot of mental illness actually comes from spiritual problems.
This is an old school clip, y'all. I had this on one of my very first reactions doing these types of videos. This is old school. Let me know if you
Cartel
remember
propaganda is deeply entrenched in every aspect of Mexican culture, society, and daily life. First things first, the music. In their music videos, Rolex Presidential, whole Gucci outfit, they drive the cars around that are fully armored. You have so much money, you have all these hot girls, and you have a great beat to accompany it. And a lot of these young people in Mexico certainly fall for it, and I don't blame them. Wouldn't you want to have the extra cash too? You're growing up in a place where both of your parents are working very hard, and Buddy on the radio is telling you that you could pick up your parents in a G-Wagon. On the other hand, social media is a major tool for the cartels.
Is it the same stuff? Luxurious lifestyle, lots of flashy
They're showing them loading up kilos into a light aircraft and flying it across Pablo Escobar style. Then you'll have a link in the bio of that TikTok account that you click it and it directly opens a WhatsApp group chat. That's the beginning step of cartel recruitment.
And the FBI, Kash Patel, do nothing about it. She knows it. She's saying it on a podcast. You're telling me the DEA and all them don't know it? And they just allow it. Y'all, I knew somebody, I don't know if I should say this, but I knew somebody that told me they knew somebody that worked at the Border Patrol, and they would just let people through, even down to Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Remember him, the sheriff of Maricopa County? He would let the big dogs come through. Right? That's how grimy it gets, y'all.
About how crack cocaine was invented, first in Oakland, California, in the early 1980s, and how it was picked up by an up-and-coming coke dealer, coke importer in Los Angeles, but with the help of the CIA. The CIA was providing the coke so that it could be sold in Los Angeles, and they took the money and used it to buy weapons for the Contra rebels. The CIA denied and denied and denied that this is not true. This is just Hollywood make-believe. It's like, you guys forgot that Gary Webb proved all this was true, and then commit CIA. It's like there's so much turnover in the jobs, they don't remember the lies that they told 3 years ago, and then anyway, they contradict themselves.
Hey, America. So today I delivered a load to a data center in South Carolina. And I'm going to tell you something about that data center that I seen. It looks like a prison. All right, listen to me. There's nothing but solid concrete walls and ventilation. I don't know why they would need something built like this for a data center. But I'm telling you now that these data centers have their own electric substations. I'm talking about with power cords, hey, to keep some stuff running. All right? But in all actuality, I'm telling you, these data centers look like encampments, concrete prisons. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe they're not. Maybe they really are data centers. But I'm looking at data centers that they're going to have computers that hold data. And these places are the size of 10 Walmarts. All right? Like, how many servers must you have to where these are coming up all around the country? One of these data centers look like it should be able to hold the information of everyone in this country 100 times over. But they're popping up everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? And I'm telling y'all, I've seen some jails. I've seen some prisons. Listen to me. I don't think these no data centers.
I mean, if it does, I thought the clip was over. Sorry, guys. If it does hit the fan, that they're going to use it for that. We've seen when disasters happen, like Hurricane Katrina, how they made where the New Orleans Saints play. That was, they shut that down, and this is where we're going to store people. We see when there's disasters somewhere, they turn the high school gym into a shelter, right? They do these things. So it just hasn't hit the fan for the whole country at the same time. It's only been like New Orleans or Missouri when there's a tornado, or Kansas tornado, or flooding in New Mexico, or a wildfire in Arizona, right? They open up the high schools. It hasn't hit a national all at once thing, because when that day comes, if it does, when it does, the Walmarts, the Targets, the grocery stores, the football stadiums, the data centers, the Amazon warehouses, those are going to be encampments.
Honestly feeling like there's going to come a time where some of us have to put up, shut up, or be locked up. So America and Americans, y'all better stay frosty and keep your eyes open. We know the vast majority of you are going to fall in place. But some of us really enjoy our freedom. And some of us will fight for it.
It's cancer.
Cancer itself is not a disease, but listen, let me tell you this, right? Everybody think cancer is a disease, but what cancer do is your cells in your body, they clump right together, all in one, right? And they say, yo, these are the bad cells, right? They're about to kill yourself. But you know what the doctor do?
they poke it. Once they poke a hole in it, it spread everywhere, then take up your body, and weeks later you dead, right? But listen, but that cancer need to be one thing need to happen for that cancer to go away.
Fast.
What do you do to a person that's in your house and you want them to leave? You starve the bitch. So if you want the cancer to leave, you gotta starve it. So what you gotta starve it from? The fucking food. Because the cancer eat the food. Right? Yeah, it's like, oh, the cancer eat the food. So if the cancer eating the food and the cancer steady growing and the doctor steady sticking you and it's steady spreading, who killed you? The doctor or the cancer?
So would that be an act of the government, or is this just an act of...
Listen.
Everything is all connected. I said it earlier.
The government is clueless too. Listen, let me tell you this, right? The government is clueless. Listen, the government...
You know, that's true, y'all. It's the fast. Like I want to start doing like once or twice a year, just the 3-day fast, because your old cells, your dead cells are supposed to detox from your body during that 3-day fast, and you rejuvenate new ones, and the chances of all these life-threatening sicknesses, I'm not going to say go away 100%, but they drop dramatically just by a 3-day fast, doing it once or twice a year, or even just once. Just one 3-day fast in your life. You're going to feel better. You know, the longest I've ever fasted was 36 hours, and I felt freaking amazing. Never felt better in my life. And I said, I'm always going to do this. And I haven't done it since. But, you know, anything like that happens, God forbid, to me or anybody, that fast, go on a week of water and salt, sit, you know, while you're seeing the doctor, right? While you're seeing it. I'm not telling you not to go see the doctor, but I'm saying while you're going to those appointments, don't eat crap.
Claims to know the truth behind Charlie Kirk's murder.
This is what we've pieced together from the emails and other intelligence sources. Charlie Kirk was never shot with a bullet. He was accidentally decapitated by a piece of shrapnel from a miniature explosive planted inside his micro. The device was supposed to blow out his chest cavity, but the explosive malfunctioned. Instead of detonating downward, it ripped upward and took his neck. That is why security immediately ripped every device off the stage. That is why the security camera behind Charlie was yanked from the wall on live feed. That is why they literally stole his body from the scene before the coroner could arrive. That is why Netanyahu went on television within minutes to say it wasn't Israel before anyone had even asked. That is why the FBI took forever to find the killer. They had to rush manufacture evidence to match the lie.
We pulled up Claude to see how much money KBR made off the Iraq
See
war.
this.
Halliburton was by far the biggest corporate beneficiary of the post 9/11 wars. Here's a breakdown of what's known. KBR, a former subsidiary of Halliburton, was estimated to have received at least $39.5 billion in federal contracts related to the Iraq war alone. By 2008, Halliburton KBR had received more than $30 billion just for logistics work under the Pentagon's log cap. The political backstory: the concept of privatizing military support services was first initiated in the early 1990s by Dick Cheney when he was Secretary of Defense, and Halliburton got the contract to develop the model. Cheney later served as Halliburton's CEO from 1995 to 2000, then became vice president under Bush. The controversy: once it secured its contracts, Halliburton proceeded to vastly overcharge the Pentagon for basic services, even while doing shady work that put U.S. troops at risk. The Defense Contract Audit Agency flagged major billing deficiencies, and the Pentagon's Inspector General launched a criminal investigation into fuel overcharging. Many of the deals were awarded without competitive bidding from other firms, making Halliburton KBR the single largest contractor of the entire post 9/11 war effort.
The first thing you notice is that if you were an ancient civilization creating a structure like that, why would you make the head so small? It looks ridiculous. That's because it was not a pharaoh. It was a lion.
Doesn't the Sphinx face a specific constellation?
It faces Leo. That's the whole point of it being a lion, yes. It only faces Leo during certain time periods in history because of what's called the precession of the equinox. Dr. Robert Schoch believes it's 12,000 years old. John Anthony West believes it's 38,000 years old because those are the only two dates that the Sphinx can align with Leo. 12,000 years ago was chaos on the earth. How could they possibly have built the pyramids of Egypt during that? What does that mean? It means that I believe 40,000 years ago, the greatest golden age that's ever emerged in our history began. We have an over 20,000 year period of human history in which we became the greatest masters we've ever been. And we were all destroyed, but before they were destroyed, they left all of their knowledge for us. All of it.
And they knew they were going to be destroyed.
And they knew they were all going to die.
And they
JFK
burned it.
thing. Didn't Trump say he was
Went
going to
and
release
burned
JFK files and then the
Kept it
CIA
for
just
themselves.
never did it?
Trump said he was going to release them and didn't. And then Congress.
But was it his fault that they never got released, or was it?
It's my understanding that there are still 10 to 15,000 pages that haven't been released.
Okay.
And the reason they haven't been released is that they point to one very specific foreign country.
No.
That we don't want to offend.
For real?
That's what my agency friends tell me.
This sarcophagus is 100 tons. You would need 50 elephants to move it, and it's inside of this tomb. See all the carvings on it? They're not from the original sarcophagus, because if you look over here, this section is indented, and this indent still has carvings in it. So someone came after the fact and put all these carvings in to try to claim it or something. But it's literally taller than my head. I'm 5'10".
And Trump don't want to bomb Iran because of no oil or energy or none of that. Iran is holding a Stargate. If you've been watching Professor Yang and all them people, Iran is holding a Stargate that could change the world, and the United States want control of that Stargate. It ain't got nothing to do with no oil, y'all. The oil is a cover up. And they released more files saying that the UFOs, the aliens, are already here. So everything that they doing, the so-called bombing, I'm gonna bomb them, they gonna bomb us, all of that is a distraction to keep us from what's going on. Iran got a Stargate, the last Stargate, if I'm not mistaken. I'm paraphrasing of what Dr. Yang them was saying. Iran has a Stargate that could change the trajectory of the whole world if they crunk it up. And the United States, they want control of it. That's what's going on. I'm telling you.
If your ultimate goal is to be famous, you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Felt something else come into me.
Sasha,
I
sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
It's not making this the devil, and I know it's gonna get me in trouble. I gotta sell my soul, 'cause I can't say no, no, I can't say no. And my limbs are frozen, my eyes won't close, and I can't say no, I can't say no.
The septum ring is the female deep leg cross. It doesn't look good, right? And it's painful and it's not comfortable, right? And an infection could set in, but it's important that you signal to people who you are. So when you see the dude with the deep leg cross, then he's signaling, and when you see the chick with the septum piercing, she's signaling as well. It's the version, because they can't do the leg cross because they already crossed their legs that way. The thing that's funny, the agreement that the interviewer guy has, because everyone who interviews Newsom does the deep leg cross to sort of present.
How these
It's
people
like
can sit
in
like
the
that. How
animal
dudes
world,
sit the
it's called,
same.
yes. Well, I will let you know that this is a hospitable zone for you by doing a deep leg cross.
Right.
That is crazy. Look at that. There are no videos of people climbing this place, getting close to it just by plane. These, for instance, are some pictures where you can actually see it's kind of a pyramid. It looks like it has angles. It actually looks like a perfect pyramid in the middle of the Amazon jungle. It's crazy. That alone tells me that there's something going on in the Amazon forest. So let's take a look into part 2 of this video, him actually coming across this place and trying to find somewhere to climb it.
Assim, ó. Vai mais ali na frente. E aqui, ó. Ali assim tem aqueles desenhos antigos na pedra. Ó. Tá vendo aí, ó? 2 orelhinhas pra cima. Caramba, velho.
Yeah, so... Oh my gosh. This is like...
Cuidado, hein?
Wow.
Tem muito abelha.
Well, I guess as treasure hunters and divers, it's like if they find something, they can actually profit from it, I guess.
Você vai tentar se aproximar. Aqui os meninos tudo com medo. Entendeu? Ali o Francisco tá ali na frente.
Oh my gosh.
Aqui tem muita ortiga, cara.
What?
Ó, galera.
Nah, wait. What? They climb this place and they find an entrance to what they believe to be this ancient lost world. The same world that Percy Fawcett was looking for in the 1900s when he went to the Amazon jungle looking for it and never returned. And there's something weird going on inside this place.
Tem outro túnel pra cá.
As always, I'm pretty curious about this kind of stuff, so as I was digging around, I found this insane rabbit hole. Kind of connects the possibility of these ancient civilizations having some sort of connection through a network of underground tunnels. And this could possibly explain why there are certain places in the Amazon forest that are completely restricted and a no-access zone.
Existe lugar controlado pelo exército chamado Quadrilátero Maldito. O nome... Você já pode ter uma ideia, né?
The question is if this lost city of the Amazon forest actually exists and if it is somehow connected to other ancient cities throughout the world. Who built this? An advanced civilization? Possibly aliens?
There was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon River system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture.
The uncle also told them that where the water is very deep, they also go into the water and transforms it into something else.
Now, of course, this is just a myth, but now that we have LiDAR technology and that we actually found massive structures hidden within the Amazon forest, this might all just change.
What's up, guys? Did war just change forever? Iran was just hit with some type of weapon that turned the entire sky blue, and then a ball of yellow shot up directly from the ground, a fireball that went effectively into space. Was Iran just hit with a laser weapon from space? Say what now? Oof.
They do enough to stay alive. Look at LeBron James. He was recruited in by his agent and doesn't really want anything to do with it, I've been told, but does enough to stay alive. Shaquille O'Neal, Lady Gaga. Did you see Shaquille O'Neal showing off his ring? Saw a picture of it or YouTube or something. I didn't watch it, but I saw him holding up his masonry ring. He must have went to 33rd degree. When you reach the 33rd degree level, you get a ring, and inscribed on it is your title, which is worthy of worship. Does he really think he's worthy of worship? Would he get sodomized by enough?
Now, where they say in ancient times, they say they play those bells to keep demons away.
Right.
And, you know, all the Catholic churches used to always ring those bells at a certain time every day. They don't do that no more.
Yeah, they
That's
actually.
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, they actually said they destroyed all the bells because people used to go to church to get healed because they played healing frequencies.
For sure.
And they got rid of them because they didn't want people to understand how frequencies can heal.
I told you about that 783 frequency. I go to sleep to that. Y'all definitely check that out. That's the heartbeat of that's the heartbeat of the earth. That's what the earth surface, under the earth surface. It's what the earth surface. The human. I forgot what it's called.
Well, this is why the
Resonance,
CIA uses frequencies. They use hemisync with the gateway process.
Yeah, they really using frequencies. They did something out there in Venezuela.
Oh yeah,
the discombobulator.
Exactly. Discombobulator.
Yeah. Wait till I get that.
He said, "Wait till I get that."
It's on. I get that.
Dude, every time I get a hate comment, every time I go to their profile and their bio, Psalms 4.
Dude, all the time.
John
all the
8,
time.
mother of 5. And I'm like, and it's so fucking weird to me. I don't get it. So you scream happiness. You have a Bible verse in your bio. You think you're all these things, and then you do shit like that.
God first. And then they'll comment some shit like, fuck you, you fucking blah, blah,
You
blah.
fucking-
Fool, you're a fake fucking you're a fake believer.
Thank you.
How you gonna be, how are you gonna have God first,
Yeah.
something super
Right, right,
religious
right,
on there,
right,
and then
right.
you're gonna just spew and
Exactly.
just shit on people.
Exactly. And here's the thing is that we're all
That's
hypocrites.
not Christian.
Right, exactly.
The missing man.
I see it all the time,
Major
y'all.
General
All the time.
William Neal McCaslin. Wife wakes up, he's gone. He left his phone, his glasses, but he took his wallet, revolver, and hiking boots with him. No idea where he's at.
Wow.
He commanded the Air Force Research Laboratory. This is crazy. Congressman Burleson and UAP whistleblower David Grush were both actively trying to reach him of what they believe he knew about the UAP disclosure. He knew something. He was working in the laboratory. Apparently had some stuff with the UAP, UFO stuff. That's crazy. What's weird, there's 2 other people connected to him that have gone missing or have died. He worked in the lab that funded the development of Monda alloy, which is a classified nickel super alloy now built into American rocket engines. So these 2 women, Dallas Hardwick, she died in 2014, and her inventor was Monica Jacinto Riza. She worked for NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. She also went hiking on June 22nd of this past year and went missing. They did thermal imaging, this whole search for nothing. How? They said she was 30 feet away. She turned around and waved and then turned and gone.
Do you know Coca-Cola created Santa Claus, right? As we see him today, Coca-Cola designed Santa Claus.
Why did they create Santa Claus? To sell Coca-Cola?
To sell Coca-Cola for the holidays. So not Santa Claus, the story of Santa Claus. The way that Santa Claus looks to us, Coca-Cola created that
Matches the colors.
in the early 1900s.
And would they put it like in commercials and stuff?
They used it in an ad campaign for the holidays.
So there was already a story of Santa Claus.
Absolutely. Story of Santa Claus.
Norway or somewhere.
Yes.
And they just popularized it.
They popularized this whole Kris Kringle with the big beard, hefty, and the red and white.
Copyrighted
and
that, right?
It's all Coca-Cola colors. I mean, not that Christmas wouldn't be. It was brilliant branding.
All right, family, there you have today's video. I got to do a lot of editing. Had to go check on the baby, had to take him downstairs, had to bring him back up. A lot of going on, y'all. So I got to get that video, get this video edited. On my second channel, I reacted to the Disney. I had a chance to do it today, so that Disney's going to be up as you guys watch this. Link down below if you guys are interested. Segovia After Dark. Got on here earlier to do this video when the baby first went to sleep, and I wasn't in the best of moods, y'all. I wasn't, the energy wasn't here. The energy wasn't here for me, right? So you know what you got to do in those times? You got to go get to work. Went outside, washed both the cars, blew the yard out, picked up the dog poop. Now I'm feeling good, y'all. That when you're having a bad day, go do some work. Go do some work you need to do, and watch how quick your day turns around. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. This is Segovia signing on the Man Cave. I'll see you guys then. Later.